everyone, welcome to UBN Pages with Priya. So today I'll be dealing with one of the past poems which I have already dealt in my past videos, and it is The Road Not Taken by our very own Robert Frost, and it is one of the class 9 CBSE NCERT curriculum. So without any further ado, let's get on to the video. Since I have read the poem previously, so I'll be attaching the link in the description box. So I hope you will find it and play it and listen to it. So now I shall be telling you the summary of it, and in the later part of the minutes I will be telling you the sections and the stanzas. I'll be reading that to you and explaining that to you simultaneously. There will be like 4 to 5 stanzas, so you will be finding it in a while. The poet says that once he was walking down the road and reached a fork. He could walk over one of the paths only. He took time to choose the right path. He inspected them to decide which was the better option, and then chose the one which seemed less walked or travelled by. He kept the other one for some other day, although he knew that he would never get the chance to walk over it. He would go further on the chosen path and not get a chance to go back on it. As he walked on the chosen path, he realized that both the paths were similar. He felt that his future depended on the choice that he made. Now let's read the first stanza of the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. I'm sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So now we will discuss the explanation part. So once the poet was walking down a road, and then there was a diversion. There were two different paths and he had to choose one of them. The poet says that as he was one person, he could not travel on one road only. He had to choose one out of these two roads. Yellow wood means a forest with leaves which are wearing out from the, you can make a picture as if it's a autumn season and the leaves are fallen on the street, something like that. And it represents a world which is full of people, where people have been living for many years. They represent people who are older than the poet. The poet kept standing there and looked at the path very carefully, as far as he could see. Before taking the path, he wanted to know how it was. Was it suitable for him or not? He was able to see the path till from where it curved, after which it was covered with trees and was hidden. It happens in our life also when we have choices. We have alternatives, but we have to choose only one out of them. We take time to think about the pros and cons, whether it is suitable for us or not. Only then we can take a decision on what path we should choose. Second stanza. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. Now let's get into the explanation part. The poet kept on looking at one of the path for a long time to check if it is the right path for him or not, and then he decided and started walking on the another path, because he felt that both paths were equally good. He says that it is just as fair, so he felt that both the paths were equally good and started walking on one of them. He added then that maybe he felt that the path was better for him, so he chooses as it had grass on it, which means that it was kept unused, and also not many people had walked on this path earlier. That is why the path was grassy, and within the quotes it is written that and wanted wear. That means That is, that it was not walked over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the paths had been worn out and worn out the same way. Both the paths were similar and worn out. Even in our life, we take any path or option, but all of them have been the same benefits, disadvantages, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not that way. Third stanza. And both the morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how ways leads to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now, let's read the explanation. The poet says that both the paths were similar that morning. Both had leaves on them, and no one had stepped on them as they were still green in color. He decided that the day he would take one path and keep the other for another day, although he knew that one way leads to another way. He knew that he could not come back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option, and we never get a chance to come back and take the other option that we had left earlier. Now let's move on to the poem's fourth stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all difference. Now let's again, for the last time, move on to the explanation part. Here, poet says that in the future he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time he had reached such a point in life that there were two options for him, and he traveled on that. The road which had been traveled upon a lesser number of people, that decision of his decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that once upon a time when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made you what you became of it. This is a very strong message for all the students, that you should be wise and be careful while making choices out of the options that you have in your life, because your future depends on the choices that you make today. So that's all for today. For more such contents, you can keep subscribing, and if you are a student, then share this with your friends. If you are a teacher, then do not forget to share this with your colleagues, and if you are a parent, then keep your society educated and spread knowledge. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.